The first concept that we're going to talk about that is extremely important in Austrian economics is the subjectivity of value, which means value doesn't come from an object just because it's an object, but because of the value that each individual places on that object. A table isn't just value in itself, but it's valuable to the person that needs to eat dinner off of that table. So it serves a use. That brings us to utility. As an example, these rides are going to be more useful for a kid than they are for a full-grown man. That's really important. Marginal utility is the extra value that you get from another unit of that good. So you have 3 sandwiches. First one, you love it, you're really hungry, you need it. Second one, you don't need it as much, but you'll eat it. Third one, you don't want it. That's marginal utility. The only reason we go into an agreement of exchange is because if I value the thing that I'm being offered more than the thing that I'm given away for. I give 1 apple for the orange because I value that orange more than that apple that I have. So let's say I produce apples, someone else produces oranges. I give 1 apple for the orange, say. So that last apple isn't as useful to me as that orange is going to be for me. So that is the difference in my value perception of the apples based on my situation, my needs, my wants. The same for the other party. So every single exchange that happens in this world, those that are like a willing exchange, one that is not coerced, let's say, is when 2 individuals believe that what they're being offered is of higher value than what they are giving. And this also applies for money. Time preference comes in here very importantly. Time preference is your value of having something right now rather than waiting for it. So if you have a high time preference, it means that you value everything much more now than in the future. You're not willing to wait. Let's say there's this test that happened with lots of young kids where they placed a marshmallow in front of them, left the room.
Well, we're still not going to get to. But if you wait until she gets back, she'll give you 2. She still won't give you 2 because you ate it. So,
those that waited for the second marshmallow have a low time preference. They're willing to wait. Those that ate the first marshmallow have a high time preference. This is really important because each person's perception of time and their willingness to wait affects the whole economy, affects the savings rate of a country, it affects the amount of capital that is available, it affects the type of products that are consumed and created. So time preference is huge. And the last bracket is entrepreneurship, which is something that must be highlighted because entrepreneurs are the individuals that keep the world ticking. They understand people's shifting preferences and people's shifting value perceptions of the world around them. People need different things as the course of time passes. You know, we didn't have any demand for cars back, 120 years ago. Now we have a much higher demand for cars. Simple things like, silicon chips, that's only a recent thing that we demand. But entrepreneurs, their job is to understand what people's needs and wants are, what they will need in the future, and being able to find a cheap way to be able to produce those goods or services.